Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're about a minute early, so we're going to leave a couple minutes for everyone to get online, get situated. This is going to be a fantastic webinar. Super stoked to be with my friend and colleague, Trevor Loeschen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Talking about all things SEO. So we're gonna give it a couple minutes. Be with you all soon. Trevor, how are things in Iowa?
Things are good. It was snowy yesterday, but a good day here. What's it like in Denver?
It's nice. It's pretty fall day. I think it's supposed to be actually warmer today. It was kind of chilly yesterday. Snow's pretty much melted, so
That's
we're
always good. Yeah, but
here.
whenever it's sunny in the winter months in Iowa, I'm a happy guy. So good sunny day here.
That's right. I like it. Unmute. There we go. We'll give it one more minute. We want to make sure we're always respectful of everyone's time, especially given this time of year. We know that every minute counts as we wrap up the quarter, wrap up the year. So we'll get this started very, very shortly. Get you guys some good information and back on your way.
Yeah, excited for it.
Well, shoot, it's 2 minutes past. I mean, let's plow, as I like to say. Let's get in it. Again, thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. I see tons of our partners on here. Great to see y'all. I see some new potential prospects, potential people we've not spoken to just yet. Welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to learn a little bit about SEO, boost your bottom line. We're going to be talking about driving revenue and retention with SEO strategies. And y'all, this has been such a core solution for AdCellerant and for our partners in terms of that revenue growth and really supporting your clients have that necessary exposure that they need online, right? And leaving it to the experts, not having a cousin down the street take care of this and you hope that things are going well, but really leaving it to people who've been in this space, who understand what Google wants. Today's going to be chock full of some great information. So let's get into it. Quick introduction. My name is Elizabeth Bernberg. I'm the Senior Director of Business Development here at AdCellerant and joined by friend and colleague and Director of Earned and Owned Media, Trevor Loeschen. Thank you, sir, for being a
Yeah.
part of today's November webinar. We're going to review, of course, for those new to AdCellerant or learning about us, we're going to go over a quick little introduction on who we are, what we're all about, how we support our partners in the digital space, and then really get into the crux of today's conversation in terms of SEO, right? And why we're actually talking about this particular solution now, as opposed to another time of year. There is a method to the madness. There is a reason behind why we chose SEO for this particular topic. We'll get into processes, tools, resources, pre-sales, as well as post-sales. Really setting y'all up for pipeline development, accurate forecasting, more to come on that. And then we'll wrap it up with the Q&A. We do try and keep these webinars as conversational as they possibly can. So if y'all have any questions, please feel free to use your chat feature. I will make sure we're addressing them as we're going through the slides today. We are recording this. We will be sending everyone a link to the recording as well as a deck, the deck that we're reviewing today. In addition, we have a killer one sheet that really highlights the focal points of today's webinar that can be great for sharing internally with your teams. Also, kind of plugging and playing a lot of that information in conversations with your advertisers, especially if they're showing interest or are looking for that robust exposure online when it comes to SEO. One last final thing, please be sure you are following AdCellerant on LinkedIn, all the social channels, all the places. We are always up to something. There's something new evolution, new thing over here. We've got people traveling everywhere, and we would love to connect with y'all. So please make sure you connect with us on those channels, and let's get into it. So AdCellerant, who are we? What are we all about? AdCellerant is a technology and a digital marketing company. And our goal, our mission, our tour de force, and everything that we do is to make the complexities in this space simple, right? Approachable. And we are able to facilitate that and really see our vision come to light through the amazing team members that we have and through the amazing technology that we've created that support our partners achieve their goals in the marketplace by further supporting their local advertisers. So we're based here in the beautiful city of Denver, but we've got amazing team members like Trevor across other areas of the country, a little over 200 team members strong. The tech that we've built is the bee's knees, as our VP of Business Development likes to say. It truly is legit, oversees the entire digital sales process. But what really makes us stand out and unique is the team, right? People still working with people. We're talking about digital, we're talking about tech, we're talking about things that can be, I mean, shoot, SEO was confusing for me for a long time, but it is still people working with people, which is why our partners are seeing such amazing success in this space when they lean on us. We
Absolutely.
do
And that's
100%.
one thing I always like to point out too. I truly believe we have the best technology, but we also have the best people. And especially getting maybe into digital for the first time, just know that our team can take these things off your plate and help you drive revenue with digital solutions.
Hands down, high five. Absolutely. And I'm a former partner myself, so I'm speaking from experience too. So enough about AdCellerant. We absolutely want to make sure we're connecting with anyone new on this call. So my email and Trevor's email will be at the end of this deck. But let's get into SEO, right? What is it? Why are we talking about it now? Why is it so important? As I was even mentioning earlier, SEO has always been one of those products that has just kind of made me nervous, right? That I feel like, gosh, that just search engine optimization, ooh, that sounds, scary. That sounds intimidating. I don't know enough about that. Well, I tell you what, Trevor is here to really dive into the details here, take away the anxiety from SEO, especially when you are working with a partner such as AdCellerant to really kind of hold your hand through this. But I'm going to kick it to Trevor and really talk about the why behind SEO, not only why you need it, but why we're talking about it right now. And of course, what it is. Trevor?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Elizabeth. And it really is the time for SEO. This is the perfect time to talk about SEO to both our partners and prospective partners, because this is where people make SEO decisions. SEO is, almost always annual contracts. It's something that's always going. We always like to say SEO lives and dies with consistency. It should really be baked in as an operational budget. And it is budgeting season, and people are, hiring and firing SEO providers right now. So now is the time to, connect with your current customers, prospects, and talk about SEO solutions. And Elizabeth alluded to this as well. The nice thing about SEO is that you can budget with it extremely well. Since it is so consistent, we can really make sure that, we're signing these annual contracts and we know what revenue is going to look like throughout the year. And we also wanted to kind of start from the ground up. So bear with me, especially any current partners on the call. I know you know what SEO is, but we want to start from the ground up and make sure that we're all on the same page. So, of course, SEO stands for search engine optimization. I really like to think of SEO as helping our clients become that obvious choice in search results. As we know, so many people consider and research on their phones before they make a buying decision. And we really just drive visibility, and not only visibility, but also conversions on the site with search engine optimization. And the nice thing is too, it's all natural. So instead of having to pay for every single click or paying to show up, you can really earn kind of your natural right to show up in search results.
Something that I used to say years ago, and I kind of set it off of a whim, but it made so much sense. And man, it still makes sense today. SEM, search engine marketing, is like paying rent, right? You're paying to play. SEO is like owning your home, right? You're putting equity back into what is yours. So I also love kind of that mindset in the value, the long-term value and the long-term return that of course, your company can get if you're leveraging SEO, but also, of course, your advertisers can get when they are leaning into SEO.
Yeah, and like saving up for a down payment, it's not fun to
Right?
budget and not get immediate gratification. But when you buy your home or when you earn your spot on page one of search results, you really own that real estate or you own that position, which is really powerful. We always like to, explain products in a funnel as well at AdCellerant. So, as we know, a lot of traditional and digital marketing is a little bit higher funnel. If we think about, products like TV, print, radio, some of our digital solutions, it's oftentimes geared towards building branding and awareness and interest. No doubt people do convert just off of this advertisement as well. But oftentimes people do go and research and consider before they take an action. And that's really where SEO meets people in that consumer buyer journey. And a pretty powerful stat there at the bottom, 88% of people who search for a local business either call or visit a business within 24 hours. So why not have that be our clients, of course? And I also like to always mention, you really can't have one without the other. If you're just having, branding and awareness, you're gonna have your client lose some of their leads to the competition and search results, but also vice versa. If you only have SEO but you have no brand recall, even if your client is showing up in search, they'll probably choose a competitor that they have brand recall with that they know is in the market. So the complementing here is remarkable, and it's we've seen so much more success, so much more retention when people have both higher and lower funnel products. And this is something that myself and our team could really talk about a lot more. But SEO just isn't visibility, traffic, conversions. It's really so much more. You really do build credibility when you have your client be seen as that kind of obvious choice to Google as well. They've built that credibility in search. Our local products are really reputation management. We help generate five-star reviews, and we help respond to reviews. So we really uphold that client's reputation in their market. It's an improved user experience. You can seamlessly find that business and take an action on their website with SEO. As we know, people consistently research and research and research on their phone. So we're really finding people in a multitude of ways online. And then content is becoming so important as well. People want to know that you are a thought leader in the space. They want to learn much more about your client's business, their products and services, and content is, of course, a large part of our organic SEO solution. So it really isn't just, metrics on a dashboard. It's really building a brand's credibility and presence online.
And also like you have your brick and mortar businesses, right? That you've got your restaurants, your retail, places, you've got healthcare. The the other most important, right? It's not the second most important. The other most important place for that prominent exposure is their website, right? And making sure that you're continuing to cultivate its content, making sure people are aware of it and have access to that when they're searching for products and services that are relevant to their needs. It's so incredibly crucial to the sustainability of the business to have an SEO strategy in place, because it's just as relevant, if not more relevant now, than having a brick and mortar strategy in place to bring people into your, place of business. You've got to make sure you're bringing people to your place of business online always.
Absolutely.
So local and organic. So we've got a couple different types of SEO. Trevor, dive into some of the differences here and when and where we would use maybe one over the other or both.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to steal Elizabeth's analogy again. And just a reminder, SEM is really like paying that rent or that immediate gratification. And it is an incredible solution that, of course, we offer. So if your client is saying, hey, I need sales in Q4 right now, let's run some SEM. SEM is an incredible solution to immediately drive visibility. But of course, today's webinar is really all about SEO. So local SEO is truly a no-brainer solution for any of your clients that meet face-to-face with their customers. So whether they are a brick and mortar where we're driving foot traffic to their door, or even a home services business where they're going physically to their clients, local SEO is going to drive incredible long-term revenue because that's really where people make a decision for local businesses. Our local SEO, I like to think of it as our client's entire presence off of their physical website. So it's not only their Google profile, but things like their Apple Maps, Amazon Alexa, and Bing. Local SEO, no matter where our clients' customers are searching for or searching online, we can make sure that they show up and show up accurately. So while local SEO is that off the website presence, organic SEO is the exact opposite. It is that physical website presence. So organic SEO is an incredible product for any business that consistently drives revenue with their website. So whether this be an attorney and a home services business, maybe e-commerce, if they're consistently driving revenue with their website and driving visibility towards it, organic SEO is an incredible solution as well. Not only does it, help our clients show up in those hyperlinks and descriptions, but even things like that people also ask section, or even AI overviews that are starting to show up more and more in search results. Nowadays, especially if you do something, do a more informational or trivial search, Google will start to highlight AI overviews. That's really just a different version of organic SEO or organic search results.
Interesting. So what would you recommend, Trevor, when it comes to, our partners working with these local SMBs? What's a good starting point? What's the must-have that you've got to have? And what are also the price points like as well? I know that these are quite affordable, but I think it's important to give some context, like what does local SEO mean to us SMB as opposed to organic SEO from a cost standpoint?
Very, very good question. Yeah, so local SEO is incredibly approachable and again, kind of a no-brainer. This starts at a couple $100 per month, and we would manage that client's Google business profile, things like images, reviews, posting, and we would also manage the top 60 listings or profiles across the web. Extremely approachable, kind of a no-brainer, a really nice foot in the door, especially for a new prospect, and just a couple $100 per month. In contrast, organic SEO, this starts at a couple $1,000s per month. So definitely a larger business, a larger budget, but does a really good job of driving that long-term revenue to the website. Really, the best organic SEO prospects are those that currently have an SEO budget and are currently investing in organic SEO since they are driving traffic to their website.
Great call out there. So low hanging fruit can be your active clients, and let's get them, local SEO, right? That can be an easy add-on incremental win. Now here I'm talking about the revenue side of it. But then, the organic side, go for those that already are in that wheelhouse, right? They already understand the importance of it. We can then share with them our analytics, our approach, win that business, make it that much better. But super important to understand the how accessible, right? Approachable, as you mentioned, Trevor, SEO is from a budget standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Clicking.
Yeah, let me kind of just explain everything on the slide here, just because there's a lot of vocabulary. But really, what we're getting at here is that most people do click on those natural or organic results. And when we use the word organic here, we're really talking about that local SEO and organic SEO section combined, those natural results. But as we can see, 45% of the time, someone's going to click on that local or organic section. About 1.8% of the time, they'll click on that paid or SEM ad. Um, Here we have about 9.7% of the time, someone's going to click somewhere else on Google, like the images or maps tab. Let's see, 17.9% of the time, they'll actually change their search. So I might type in something like best restaurant near me and switch it to best taco restaurant near me. That's just a Google keyword change. And then these days, about a quarter of the time, people actually don't click on a search engine. And these are especially those more trivial informational searches, things like Denver, Colorado weather, how many points did Caitlin Clark score last night? Things like that when someone just wants a really quick answer to a question that is a zero click. I always like to mention, some people are a little bit, wary of search results and becoming so AI generated and quick answers. However, when people look for a small to medium sized business, Google is still prioritizing that local three pack and small and medium sized businesses websites. So when someone's looking for a roofer, they're looking for an electrician, they're looking for the SMBs that we work with, Google still very much prioritizes those, and that's where a lot of those organic clicks go to.
Helping you all. This is the helping part of SEO, as I mentioned earlier. Um, it was always kind of intimidating to me. It was intimidating to my team. We understood that it was an incredibly sticky product. We understood that it is needed. It is a foundation to a strategic marketing plan for any business and any size of business, right? But how do we start it, right? Where does the support come in? What kind of tools do we have access? Do I then need to be an SEO expert? The answer to that is no. When you're working with AdCellerant, the amazing team members, Trevor, Sam, I mean, gosh, the slew of them, they're phenomenal and experienced in this space so that your team can just become dangerous enough. And some of these, tactics here that we're going to be sharing in terms of the tools, these are great methods to plant the seed, right? From a seller standpoint, I'm sure that there's some AEs on the call today, managers. You want to arm your sellers with data and information to help continue the conversation and even discovery phase with your client, right? Let's make sure that we are positioning ourselves as marketing consultants, not transactional sellers. These tools, as it relates to SEO, are going to be so incredibly powerful. And just literally with the click of a button, you'll have access to them. And then guess what? Our team can be here to help get the deal across the finish line. So Trevor, tell us about in terms of what these tools are, how they operate, and what they mean to to a seller about getting a meeting and ideally closing the business.
Yeah, and I think you said it so well. These scan tools are really about planting that seed. In 30 seconds, you can throw in a client's name, address, and phone number. And with this local SEO listing scan, see very quickly if they're managing their online presence. Let's say, you look at Portside in Denver and you see that they're 74% inaccurate across the web. That's a really easy foot in the door to chat with them about local SEO. For organic SEO, these scans take about 5 minutes to generate, but very quickly you can get a good idea of roughly how much traffic, organic traffic, they get to their site, what keywords they rank for, as well as things like how much content they have on their site. One thing I always like to point out about our tools is we've done a lot of research to make sure that we have the most accurate tools. I mean, everything that we point out as well pre-sale, we'll always be able to implement post-sale. And that is actually a big differentiator. There's a lot of companies that have these complex tools that point out tons of errors and warnings, but they don't actually solve those things post-sale. But everything that we point out, like for instance, the inaccuracies across the web, we can get them 100% accurate on the top 60 of these listings across the web. So
Repeat
you can
that
always be confident. Yeah.
Repeat that again. That's huge. That there are other platforms out there, and great platforms, don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, that are showing you those error or missed opportunities, right, in terms of the scans and the data that's available. But they're just showing that. They're not then executing on addressing and finding a solution to fix those errors. And that's where we come in.
Yeah, exactly. Like just to dive on that a little bit more, there are a lot of tools out there that can kind of nitpick every tiny thing about someone's online presence and get very granular into things about the website and point out a ton of listings that a company may not even manage, whereas our tools are really built with what we do on a monthly basis with our clients. And then, so you're able to plant the seed, you get a client interested in SEO. That's really where my team comes in, and we're a white labeled resource for you. We are a member of your team. You can throw us on a call and speak directly with your client. This is just a quick snapshot of one slide from our full SEO audits, but you can request these full SEO audits. They do take 5 business days to generate, but we'll pass them along to your team. We can huddle internally, and then you can throw us directly on that client call. And this is just to give you an idea. We can see, how many keywords they rank for, how many organic visitors they get per month. And then we can actually look at what keywords they rank for and their average position. So this was an interesting one where they were a nearshore software developer, but on average, they were ranking a lot of times in pages 8, 9, 10 of Google. And this is where our team does a really good job of setting expectations as well. I had the chance of jumping on this call with the client, and we had to, pitch them one of our more aggressive organic SEO packages and set the expectation that, hey, it's going to take 9+ months to show you meaningful results because you really are starting from scratch from an organic SEO perspective. So that's another really nice thing that we're able to do. We can jump on a call and, if a client's already on page one, we can kind of set expectations on a much shorter timeline. But we can also have some of those harder conversations to make sure that we're on the same page pre-sale so that we're able to retain them for years to come once we start running SEO with them.
That's a great point in terms of setting up the appropriate expectations in terms of timeline to see lift, to see, success as it relates to SEO, because it is a long game strategy, right? This is not flick of a switch like search engine marketing is, turning on the faucet. This is something that takes time, that and a lot of attention and finesse, if you will. So I think that's an incredibly important reminder when having those conversations with your clients and setting up the right expectations as to how this SEO solution over time is going to be of great value and importance to their business, but it does take time. It does not happen overnight. And leaning into the data, as like we see here in this example, going from page 9, what do they say? You can bury a dead body. Where do you bury a dead body in Google?
Page 2 of
Page
Google.
2, right?
Yeah.
So it takes time. We've got to lean into the Google algorithms, understand the content that's on your webpage, what your backlinks are, all those things. But I love, Trevor, that you mentioned that, because that also just helps solidify you as being that consultant, keeping the client's best interest at the forefront and making sure everyone is on the same page as to how this campaign, especially on the organic side, the on-site optimization, is going to, develop over time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I like the word consultative. I mean, we really are, consultative salespeople. I mean, we are, of course, selling SEO to the client, but we're consulting and really giving them some of the answers with the audits as well. And here you can see kind of step by step, you can request that full SEO audit, get it back. We can pitch that SEO solution together as a team. And then it really doesn't stop there. So we don't just sell it and then, okay, now retain this with your client. We have a dedicated, campaign management team that would run these campaigns and jump on a call with your client on a monthly basis. So we would jump on an onboarding call. We would get a really good idea of the client's goals, what success looks like for them, what their brand tone and voice is, really set the stage for the campaign. And then once we start working on the engagement, every single call, we jump on a video call, we're accountable for our results, and we run through that reporting dashboard with them. And we also, just meet on their business in general. A lot of times the first question we're going to ask is, how's the business been in the last month? What are you seeing on your end? We really want to be seen as teammates with your clients. Especially when you're working on someone's site, you really are a team with that client. And here we really highlight what, again, that flow looks like, but also what close rates do when you do include us in these engagements. And this is specifically for selling organic SEO close rates. But oftentimes, just with the audits that are sent back, we get about anywhere from like an 8 to 10% close rate on audit calls when we're not joining the conversation. However, once we're implemented into the process and we are on that physical client call, that close rate jumps up to 40%. So when my team is on a call with our partners, we do close 40% of those conversations. Again, not being pushy in any way, shape, or form, but really just consulting with the client how we can help and how we can take that off their plate. But you see one missing piece here. When you get us on a discovery call, or if we huddle internally and we really get great prospecting information. So if we go to the next slide here, we actually improve our close rate to 50%. And I actually see some individuals on the webinar right now that are awesome at this. When we huddle internally and you tell me the conversations you've had, the relationships, the pain points, it makes my job so much easier to jump on that call, truly be a member of your team because I know the background on the client. And then we get a 50% close rate there. So again, really want to be a part of your process. And you can see how well we can sell the solution for you and then retain it for years to come as well. And then we're really jumping into our really tailored approach or our focused approach here. So instead of throwing our clients into very cookie cutter solutions, there's a lot of SEO companies that may specialize in attorneys. And they're a national company and they really run SEO the same way for all their attorneys across the country. However, what we do is our month zero analysis where we build custom strategies for all of our clients. So here we're doing keyword research, we're analyzing their competitor sites, we're doing a manual technical audit on every page of their site, and then we're really understanding at a high level how strong they are and the key aspects of SEO. From here, we present that campaign strategy. So after that first month of work, we present the campaign strategy and show the client our 6-month strategy, exactly how we're going to tackle this engagement, how we're going to move the needle with them. And as you can see, maybe their web developer is on his A game. The back end of his website's very clean, but they're really lacking with content and backlinking or authority. We would pour much more of our efforts towards content and authority, for instance, in that engagement. So it is always a custom strategy. And then ultimately, long term, our goal is to be very strong in all 3 pillars of this of SEO. From a nerdy perspective, it's this. From the client's perspective, it's really a lot more meaningful traffic and revenue to their website. Again, which we'd run through with them on a monthly basis on those progression calls.
This is
And
the
my
jaw
favorite slide
dropper.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
this is definitely my favorite slide. So this is a case study of a current partner of AdCellerant that I've actually had a chance to work very closely with this year. They signed on in about April and started to get the wheels turning. They very quickly adopted our process. And really their pre-sale process is to submit an audit with us, huddle with us, get us on a client call, sell that engagement, and then retain it for years to come. And as you can see, we have generated billed revenue of $252,900 so far this year. And we are projecting well over $1 million in just SEO sales in 2025, hoping to be even more than 1.1 million, but projecting 1.1 right now. And that just gives you an idea how we can start from scratch and within a year, literally bill millions of dollars for your team.
Something that kind of just popped into my mind is, I'm a former AdCellerant partner. I'm a former broadcaster. I'm a former print gal. I've been there. As a seller in those, legacy models, you want to be, of course, supporting your advertiser every which way. In their creative, they're more than likely driving people where? To their website, right? So when you think about adding SEO as a solution that's important to the overall marketing strategy for your client, it complements what you are doing already with your core assets. It is beautifully complementary to what you're doing on the print side, what you're doing on the radio side, what you're doing on the television side, because you are directing traffic to the website anyway in that creative. So why not own, from a seller standpoint, why not own that entire kind of full funnel approach for your client? It makes it easier for your client to work directly with you. They then get to see their website analytics, uplift in traffic, how we're kind of working on everything through SEO, and continue to leverage your core assets with these digital components working together. It is an incredible marriage of solutions that I just wanted to highlight because it's incredibly complementary, right? They work very well together.
Yeah, absolutely. And just something I want to highlight, kind of putting myself in some people's shoes on the webinar right now. I had a really good chat with a print rep yesterday, and she was a little wary getting her client on a call and us picking apart their website and going through this audit. She said it, felt kind of intrusive. It felt kind of, harsh to do this. The way that I always have our reps kind of tee up these audits is, hey, as a valued client or as a valued prospect of ours, we did this complimentary SEO audit for you. We'll jump on a call and we'll have an SEO expert walk through our findings. And a lot of what we point out, you can take and run with. Especially on the local SEO side of things, we give very tangible feedback that the client could immediately improve their online presence. And then I always phrase it as, hey, if any of this is too much for you, if you want assistance with any of this, we can take it off of your plate. And that's really the approach we take. Our audits are extremely valuable. They're the best I've seen in the market. And it provides really good information for them. So there's really no reason why they wouldn't want to at least chat with us about SEO and see how they could help their online presence. And as you can see, that consultative approach has paid off for us. So in 2024, we did close, again, 40% of our sales calls that we joined with our clients. This is my incredible team here. We've got Sam Rahimi. He is the vice president of Earned and Known Media. We've got Caroline Milliron. She's one of our sales executives. And then we have Sebastian Maranta, who is a sales manager on our team. And these three, as well as myself, are always a member of your team, and we would love to join you on these client calls.
Hey, Trevor, tell me before we get into these last kind of reasons why now is the time, highlight the retention rate for SEO
Yes.
campaigns.
So our SEO products have a retention rate of 95% plus year round. So it is the stickiest product at AdCellerant, and to kind of toot our own horn, it is the fastest growing division as well. Really, I kind of chalk that up to our process. Since SEO is something that we are able to be so consultative on and are able to point out such an opportunity, it's difficult to critique someone's display campaign, but with SEO, we can really tangibly show someone how we can help them. But yeah, it is the stickiest product that we have.
Who doesn't want 95% retention? No one. We all do. That's phenomenal. All right, last things as we close out this webinar. I know I like to keep these around 30 minutes, so we're a little over, but appreciate everyone staying on with us. So why now is so incredibly important. Trevor mentioned it earlier. This is budget season. Obviously, people are planning, they're firing SEO consultants, they're adding on new ones, they're redeveloping a website, they're bringing on new products into their business model. They're having a reorg. There are a lot of things happening right now, end of year. It is the perfect time to make sure you are talking about the SEO solutions available to your client and how they can work through you to execute and manage, their website presence, right? Their offsite and onsite website presence. Our team and tools I mean, by far the best from resources, experts, people, again, working with people. This is still a human business. SMBs, your clients want to connect with people. We want to do the same thing. This is not an algorithm in the background. This is not the tech handling it all for us. This is our team and the tech working together to support you. And really to echo what Trevor said, you know, what he was chalking up all of our success with, and I agree, there is a method to the madness. The methodology that we have behind our process and our approach to SEO to make it approachable, right? To take away the stigma of having it sound like this scary, very just overwhelming solution. That's gone by the wayside when you know you have the team members available to support you. And that can also break it down into, you know, people terms, into normal language. So it can be easily understood by your client. You're able to easily understand it as well. And at the end of the day, this is all meant to drive your bottom line as a partner, as a prospect, to drive your client's bottom line.
100%. And one final thing I'll throw in too is we will point out to you if SEO isn't the right solution for the client too. So I would say at least on a weekly basis, I'll talk to someone and I'll talk them into SEM over SEO because they want results now, for instance. So in the immediate, if you only have so much budget, hey, you need to run SEM right now. I'll also tell them if their SEO provider is doing an incredible job. If their traffic is up and to the right and they're doing all the right things in the background, I'm not going to steal the business for the sake of stealing the business. We can always help them in another way. Obviously, AdCellerant has so many products to offer. We can complement them with something like that. Of course, you know, if they want all of the reporting under the same dashboard, things like that, we can help, but definitely not hard selling your clients just for the sake of revenue. We're really consulting them.
Absolutely. And keep in mind too, a lot of the tools that we highlighted today, those are, you know, available to you at no additional cost from a partnership standpoint. That's in our tech. Those scams easily accessed, they're immediately available. The SEO audit, the full-fledged one that does take 5 business days, that's still at no cost, right? So these are also great ways to continue to open up conversations with advertisers. You have the tools, you have the team, you know the revenue is behind it, it's sticky, it can help you create more realistic and accurate forecasts from a budgetary standpoint when you have SEO, because it is a long-term solution. And you guys, the time is now. The time is now. So I want to thank you all for joining us. This was awesome. And Trevor, wizard, my friend, thank you so much. Always dropping knowledge on SEO. Please reach out to either Trevor and or myself. Should you have any questions, interested in getting an SEO audit, would be happy to provide that to you. And have a wonderful, safe, and happy Thanksgiving, you all. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day.